Morning everybody, I'm Stacey, the Chief Exec of Salisbury Hospital. I just wanted to take a few minutes to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all of our colleagues at Salisbury Hospital. We know over the last 6 to 8 weeks it's been a really intensely busy period, and our colleagues in the South West Ambulance Service have been reporting their busiest ever days, which translates into us having seen more people through our emergency department and some of our acute pathways over this last few weeks than perhaps we've seen since prior to the pandemic. On top of that, you will know that we've had some COVID back in our communities at reasonably high rates, which thankfully haven't translated into too many hospital admissions, but we have been caring for small numbers of people who've required inpatient care and critical care again in our hospitals. If you add into that all of the work that I know people are working really hard on in terms of trying to catch up on some of our elective operations and procedures and tests, what that's meant is it's just been really, really busy. And I know that after an intense 18 months where we've been responding to the pandemic, that's probably felt really quite tough. I think the other thing that's made it really challenging for our teams is that we are in peak holiday period, and it's really important that all of our colleagues have had some opportunity to make sure that they've got their annual leave. But that does mean sometimes that the numbers of staff that are available in our teams, will have felt really quite stretched. We recognise that it's really difficult because there's not always anything in the here and now we can do that will make that feel much better on a day-to-day basis. But those messages do come through to us. Thankfully, it felt slightly more settled in the hospital last week, but we won't be complacent, and we are continuing to focus really hard on doing everything we can do to make sure that our colleagues are able to respond to those pressures that are on them on a day-to-day basis. The Trust Board, I know, want me to convey all of their thanks to everything that you have been doing over this last 18 months, and in particular feel for colleagues that it's been such a busy, intense period over the summer. We know that stepping into autumn and stepping into the winter is likely to continue to feel busy. So I'm really pleased that it would appear to us that most of our colleagues have had a chance to have some kind of leave, and I hope that people are able to get a bit of rest, and at least we can go into that period with people having done that. Lastly, I just wanted to give another big shout out and thanks to our colleagues down at the Vaccination Centre at City Hall. So one of the reasons that we were able to have such low rates still of people who needed to be in hospital with COVID, even when we had rising community rates, was thanks to the vaccination programme. So huge thanks to Fiona and the team down at City Hall. I'll sign out now, but say a huge thanks from me to all of you. So whether you're working in our portering department, in one of our clinical teams, in our admin teams, in our finance teams, our HR teams, each and every one of our nearly 4,000 staff, I know are putting huge effort in on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we can continue to respond to the communities that we serve. And I really appreciate that, and I hope all of you manage to get a bit of downtime in your summer. Thank you.